Yo, welcome back to the show. I was doing this whole month in the Agoge. We are talking about families and family culture and finances and education for children and relationships and just everything that involves the household. Right? You can't really talk about one specific thing. It's all of it. So the other day we were talking about being a leader in your home and what it means for a man to be a leader. What are the characteristics of that leader? And my dear friend, best friend, Josh Hansberger, and business partner in the Agoge, he developed this thought process of, he calls it the mirror check. And it's a real uncomfortable thing. And if you've never done it, I highly suggest you. And the mirror check is simply this, is you go sit in front of a mirror and have a conversation with yourself. Because when you're looking yourself in the eyes, in the mirror, you can't lie to yourself. You can try, but you know that you're full of shit. And so we wanted to have that self-mirror check, but in conjunction with the 12 characteristics of a true leader and what those characteristics are and how they play into you. And so I want you to take these 12 characteristics. I want you to go sit in front of the mirror, and I want you to analyze and maybe even take notes and go, where am I 1 through 5 on each one of these different things. And in that way, you can see how you measure up to each one of these characteristics and see where you're falling short of. Where are you crushing them and where are you falling short? Because we all fall short, and that's okay. It's okay to fall short. It's not okay to stay falling short. We have to improve. But if we don't know where we are falling short, I'm sure your wife can tell you. But in reality, we need to self-assess, and we need to go seek improvement in that particular issue. So nonetheless, here we go. Let's dive into, these are the 12 characteristics of a true leader. And, a true leader possesses a range of qualities and characteristics that, enable us to effectively communicate, guide, mentor, provide for our tribe. So the first one is a vision. And vision is important because without a vision, you don't know where to go. And it's important that we have a vision of, for our families and for ourselves, because if we're just flying by the seat of our pants, if we're just going through the motions, well, we're just kind of aimlessly, rolling through life like, blindfolded. But as soon as I have a clear vision of where we're going, what we want to have, what we want to build, well, then we can communicate that, and then I can build a phase line plan to how to get there. I can create a map on how to get to the person I want to be. So think about that. Do you have a clear vision? Do you know where you're at, and do you know where you want to be? And once you have that, you can build a roadmap to get there. Integrity. Integrity is something that is hard. It is hard. It's one of those ones that came straight out of the Marine Corps for me. They always said, strong ethical moral principles, consistently act in transparent and honest manner, right? Integrity, doing the right things for the right reasons, even when it's not popular. You have to be a man of integrity, and that can be hard, especially when it goes against something that you might not want to do, or the way that maybe it makes you look. So a leader must have integrity. Here's one that we all men struggle with, I feel like. Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence. How stoic are you? Are you flying off at the handle at your kids? Are you flying off at the handle at your wife or your team or whoever's in your house? Or are you more stoic? Do you respond with the most best possible outcome? Do you say things to get the best possible outcome of a situation? Are you constantly just reacting to a situation? Somebody pisses you off and they hit your little trigger button, or they get a keyword and you just, fly off at the mouth and say things that you probably really don't mean. As we grow as leaders in our house, it is absolutely crucial that we have emotional intelligence, especially when it comes to our kids going from little children to teenagers. I know for a fact for myself, I have grown a lot and had to become very emotionally intelligent when it comes to teenage girls. This gives you this self-awareness and empathy to sit back and understand, and maybe even ask more questions instead of just answering the question. Wonder, have curiosity, ask questions, dive into the reasons why. There's always a deeper reason. There's always layers to a situation. Emotional intelligence. You control how you react. Don't be controlled. Adaptability. Leaders must be able to adapt to a problem. It's something that I've really prided myself on over the years of learning how to adapt to situations, because I guarantee life, no matter how good you are, how well you've grown, life is going to throw some shit at you, and you're going to need to have the ability to pivot and adapt. And if you can't, then that's a problem. And you get stuck. I've watched so many leaders, or so many men, I don't even call them leaders, because if you're a leader, you're really crushing these 12 characteristics. But if you can't adapt, you're just somebody who's in charge that can't adapt to a problem. But we must be able to adapt in changing circumstances. New information comes back, and feedback from others. We get feedback from somebody. Mark tells me something. I'm like, okay, I need to adjust. I need to communicate more. I need to plan better, right? If your wife says, hey, I got this goal, and it doesn't align with yours, well, maybe you need to adjust a little bit. So being able to adapt to problems and new information and feedback from others is crucial. Confidence. A leader must be confident. I'm sure everybody have worked for somebody who's in charge that's not confident. That's very, very painful. We have to have faith in our own abilities. We have to know that we are the top G. We have to know we're the number one motherfucker, right? How do we get like that? Well, if your confidence and your self-esteem is lacking, then you need to go to the gym. You need to get fit. You need to do the things that you're holding back on that make, you're staying in your comfort zone. You need to get out of your comfort zone, do the challenges, achieve some shit, accomplish some things, both physically, mentally, maybe spiritually. This will become more confident. If you're not a confident person, go to jiu-jitsu. I'm telling you, you will realize how good you really aren't. But the reality is, real quick, I think they said less than 1%. Well, 1% of the world's population grapple. So if you went and learned to grapple for just a year, 6 months to a year, you literally would have more information, more capability than over 99% of the world's population. You would be able to control 99% of the world's population within 1 year of learning how to grapple or do jiu-jitsu. I would say that makes you a little confident. Wouldn't you say that? Wouldn't you say makes you a little more confident, right? So it's little things. If you're not confident, if you have low self-esteem, low confidence, get to the gym, get the belly fat off, get the man boobs off your body, get lean, build some muscle, go learn to fight other men. I'm telling you, this will change your life. Enough of that. Humility. That's a hard one. It's a hard one for the old dogs, right? The old dogs that don't want to be taught, that think they know it all. A true leader is humble. They're willing to admit when they're wrong. They're willing to accept feedback and not lash out and really learn from their mistakes. We have to practice humility. Okay? You can still be the top motherfucker and be humble. All right? You can still be the top guy and still learn something. All right? So check yourself. Get in the mirror and start going over these things. Resilience. This is why I talk about doing hard things and challenges all the time. Because how do you build resiliency? How do you build resiliency without doing something that's going to push you to the limit? You have to be pushed to your breaking point, to where you want to quit, to where you have that self-doubt that you don't know if you can do it, and then you go one more and you do it anyway. That constantly leveling up your grit. We have to be resilient as leaders. When everybody else is panicking and everybody's ready to throw in the towel, you're like, nah, just a little bit more. Because you can achieve a lot more than you really give yourself credit for. But the way to build that grit, the way to build resiliency is to push yourself outside of the comfort zone. Number 8 Empowerment. Leaders encourage and support their team members to take initiative, make decisions, and develop their own skills. A true leader, the people that I have worked with the most in my life, the greatest leaders that I've worked with in my life have always been the ones that were more about serving me and making me the very best version of myself. I try very hard to empower all of the people around me to be their very best version of themselves. And sometimes that means moving on and going somewhere else. And that's okay. It's important that everybody has their own journey. But I want to empower them to live their own dreams, to achieve their own goals. I want the people around me to win. A true leader wants their people to win in life. So empower the ones around you to win. Number 9, decision making. We've all worked for somebody who's in charge, that couldn't make a decision. And when I was in special operations, they'd always say, any decision is better than no decision. Because in stressful times, some leaders or some people that were in charge would almost freeze up and not be able to make a decision. And that's a problem. That can cost time, money, energy, and even a life. We must have the ability to make decisions. This comes from having confidence. This comes from having experience. This comes from having resiliency and adaptability. These other characteristics, they all play into each other. A good leader can make decisions. How do we make decisions? Well-informed, timely, and we even make them in the face of uncertainty. And we have to have confidence to be able to do that. Number 10, communication. My dear friend, Bedros Koulian and mentor myself, he says you have to be a level 9, level 10 communicator. Because if you're not, you'll never lead 9s and 10s. If you're a level 6 communicator, the best you can communicate, the best you can lead is a level 5. Right? 7, 8, and 9s will never lead 7, 8, and 9s. So you have to be able to communicate effectively. You have to be able to communicate your vision. You have to be able to communicate your intent. You have to be able to provide feedback in a very positive way that that the person that you're talking to understands. You have to have branch plans where no matter where the conversations goes, you can drive the conversation where you need it to go for the max productivity. But not only that, you have to be able to listen to the concerns and ideas of your family. This is part of communication. Communication is not one way. It's also being able to understand where the other person is, where their feelings are at, having empathy for their situation, and then coming back and going, okay, and being able to repeat and recite what they're saying. So they understand that you're actually listening to me. You understand, you comprehend what they're saying. That is some next level communication. So ask yourself, on a scale from 1 to 10, what level communicator are you? Can you communicate to your significant other your desires and wants and needs? And when they do it to you, are you actually hearing them? You're getting that information. Number 11, collaboration. A true leader does not say this: well, if you want something done right, you do it yourself. What a bullshit ass statement. And we've all heard it. Hell, most of us have probably said it, to include myself. But a true leader fosters a culture of teamwork and cooperation amongst a team or a family. Everyone feels valued. Everyone feels like they have something to gain and something to give. It's not always your show. Give them the opportunity to succeed. Build collaboration. Build that culture within your family of teamwork. That it's not about the individual always. It's about the unit. It's about the cohesiveness of the family. One of the things that we do in our family is on Sundays, we do family dinner. So everybody comes together. The people that are here come together and we have family dinner. No phones, no social media, no nothing. We are just there to collaborate, communicate, and enjoy one another. We play board games. We play cards. We just laugh. We have fun. We tell stories. We talk about not random nonsense. But that is our day to collaborate, to share time with each other. And then number 12 is positivity. The guys here can tell you, if I walk into this building and I am in a negative mood, or I'm in a low frequency mood, it affects everybody in the building. If you're the dad and you walk in the house and you're in a badass attitude because you had a bad day, and then you're barking at your kid and you're barking at your wife and you're kicking the damn dog, what is that going to affect everyone in the house? It's just going to bring all the energy down. You have to dig down deep, no matter what day you have, because they don't fucking care what you do. They don't care how bad of a day they had. They don't care what kind of an awesome job you have and how much money you make or how much money you lost. They don't care about any of that. All they care about is that their leader shows up and is positive and spends time with them and leads them and teaches them. They just want you. That's it. So that's number 12. A true leader maintains a positive attitude and inspires others through their enthusiasm and optimism. We have a duty to be positive, even in the darkest of times. So to wrap up, guys, the 12 characteristics of a true leader. Vision, number 1, vision. 2, integrity. 3, emotional intelligence. 4, adaptability. 5, confidence. 6, humility. 7, resilience. 8, empowerment. 9, decision-making. 10, communication. 11, collaboration. 12, positivity. I want you to go stand in front of a mirror, and I want you to grade yourself and have a conversation about those 12 characteristics of a true leader. And if you're struggling with those, if you're looking at it, you're like, no, I'm not living up to being a true leader. I'm not living up to these 12 characteristics. Let us help you. There's a link below. There's 2 links, actually. 1, talk about getting into the mentorship with Agoge and listening to me talk about these things in depth and tell the stories and have the other people tell their stories of how they're overcoming these and becoming better at them in the Agoge, or the 4 pillars and how they will supercharge your life. It's a free ebook that we wrote, so go check that out. Other than that, guys, if you know this is going to benefit someone, screen grab this, tag me, share it on social media, give us a thumbs up. If you have a question about one of these, drop them in the comments below on YouTube, and I will respond to you personally. Other than that, never quit, never surrender, always forward, and we'll see you guys in the next video.